Hello, everybody. How are you doing on today? I hope each and every one of you are doing all right. In fact, I hope you're doing very well. And I'm doing very well too. First, I would like to say a heartfelt thank you to each and every one of you out there for tuning in today. I really do appreciate it. And of course, I would like to welcome all of you to another episode of TJ's Topics. And in case you didn't know, I am TJ. And it is such a pleasure to be with you again on today. Now, I consider it a very special day as well as a very special week because, of course, you all know about the big headlines. All the big headlines we've had these past couple of weeks. And the biggest one has been the solar eclipse, which is coming up this week. And I know that everybody is looking forward to it. And I live in one of the states that is going to pass through, which is Arkansas. And the path that is going to pass through our state, I would say it's about maybe 2.5 hours away from me, from where I live. So I won't be like in the direct path of it, but nevertheless, I'll be close by. And I don't have any solar glasses, so I don't guess I'll be able to stand out there and look at it, but I can peep out the window and look at the darkness that appears. And I'm sure that most of you will be doing that as well. And so that leads into my topic for today. Because, every time we have these solar eclipses and stuff, or a lunar eclipse when the moon turns blood red, people think that there's something big about to happen. And all sorts of theories come about, especially pertaining to the end times, and the apocalypse, thinking that's one of the signs that Jesus is coming back. But I'm here to tell you today that nobody has anything to worry about. No, none of you, none of us. We don't have anything to fear, anything to be running from or or anything like that. Simply because the world is not coming to an end. That's what I want to tell you today. The world is not coming to an end. And I'm fully aware of what Bible prophecy teachers and preachers have told us. Oh man, for decades on end. When we see these signs, then we can begin to look up because Jesus is getting ready to come down. Well, look, if that were the case, I believe he would have already came down long before now, because we've had more than enough signs to see anything happen. But, so many people have used the scriptures as a means to scare people, to frighten folks. And one big passage is Matthew chapter 24, where it talks about earthquakes in diverse places and stuff. And of course, there was just an earthquake up there in New Jersey the other day. And, it's a rare occurrence on the East Coast. Now, mind you, I live on a New Magic Fault myself. I live about 30 minutes away from where the fault line begins, which is up there in Martree, Arkansas. And it runs all the way up to the southern portion of Illinois. And the last major quake that happened in this area was in the years 1811 and 1812, when the Mississippi River ran backwards. Because where I live in West Memphis, this used to be covered by the river. And so after 1812, when the earthquake happened, the river ran backwards. And so that caused all of this land right here where I live to be exposed. And so basically, the city of West Memphis sits in a hole. And I'm telling you, it is a hot mess. But right now, I want to focus on the solar eclipse that's coming up this week, and I just want you all to know that there is nothing to fear. You don't have to be running around here trying to stock up bottled water and trying to get non-perishable items, and and you don't have to be doing all that kind of stuff as if we're gonna somehow go off the grid or everything's gonna shut down. People thrive on scaring the hell out of folk. You know that? I mean, religion thrives on it, and the government thrives on it. The media thrives on it. I mean, all these different industries thrive on the usage of fear. All the scare tactics that they issue us, trying to keep us scared to death. And they, I don't know, it's like that's what they love to do. They love to have us all freaked out about stuff, and to be honest with you, I don't think that's a good way for anybody to live. How can any of us have a pleasant experience in life? How can we even enjoy our lives? Always being afraid of this and afraid of that. I mean, come on now, that is a very unpleasant situation. And keep in mind that we only have a short time on this earth. I mean, we're here for a moment, a few decades at best. And after that, we're out of here. And so why would we want to waste all that precious time, as minimal as it is, being afraid of every little thing? But unfortunately, many of us have found ourselves in such predicaments. We've been afraid to to take risk and afraid to do this and do that, all because of what somebody told us. Saying that if we don't listen to them, or if we don't do what they say, or we don't take their advice, then we're going to have to suffer the consequences. And I'm sure that many of you have been in situations like that, where somebody told you if you don't listen to them and you don't heed their warning, then you're going to have to pay the price, whatever that price might be. And it's not a good feeling. It really isn't. So, but if you notice, we've had a lot of videos that have came out on YouTube, and I'm sure most of you have seen some of them, where they're talking about a whole lot of stuff that could potentially happen, such as the rapture. And I'm telling you, people disappearing off the planet, aliens coming down, abducting folks, and spaceships flying in the air. Matter of fact, when I was little, I was told that when we started seeing spaceships flying in the air, that was going to be a sign that Jesus was about to return. And I think when I was 9 years old, around about 8 or 9 or 10 at the most, I saw something flying in the air, and I didn't know what it was. And I remember what I had been told, that when we start seeing these things, that Jesus was on his way to come and collect his people and leave all of the sinners behind to go through what they call the tribulation period, 7 years of turmoil and trouble on the planet, being ruled and reigned over by the Antichrist, and being threatened with fire and brimstone if they accepted the mark of the beast, whereby no man would be able to buy or sell anything unless they had that mark in their right hand or in their forehead. And the number was 666. I'm sure most of you have heard that too. And then there was Y2K coming into the year 2000, when we were exiting the 20th century, coming into the 21st century. And they scared us, saying that people who had bank accounts and their money was in the bank, then they were going to lose their money because the computers weren't going to be able to read January 1st, 2000, but instead they would jump back to January 1st, 1900, when most of us weren't born. And so they would lose everything. Oh boy. I mean, just think of all of the things that we have gone through as a human race with regards to fear and all of the scare tactics. And I think that a lot of that has to do with the fact that, the powers that be feel as if the only way they can keep us in line is if they put what they call the fear of God in us. That's the only way they can keep us under control. And if they can't scare us, then we're liable to get out here and do any and everything, and think that we can get off scot-free. Well, my thing is this. I mean, you have folks out here every day that are doing pretty much anything they want to do. And sometimes they do get off scot-free. So, I mean, what can you say about that? So, anyway, I just want to come on here right quick and just point that out. And I'm sure that if you have your solar glasses, look at the sun during the time of the eclipse, that you will be out there watching. The last eclipse I remember vividly was when I was in junior high back in 1995. And I was at school that day. And I didn't look up at the sun, but I noticed how the sky became very dim and all of the atmosphere around us became somewhat dark. But I wasn't afraid. And then, of course, there was an eclipse in 2017, but I didn't really pay any attention to that one. But of course, we had the blood red moons back in 2014 and 15, and Pastor John Hagee was talking about those, and see the 7-year tribulation we thought was going to happen then from 2008 to 2015. And I got glad because I was on unemployment during 2008. And if the rapture had taken place, if the rapture had happened in September of 2008, like they said, I wouldn't have had to worry about going back to work. I could have just been caught up. But nothing like that happened. And so here we are in 2024. So anyway, I'm going to get off of here. Thank you so much. And keep this in mind too, okay? I'm going to say it one more time. The world is not coming to an end. So enjoy the solar eclipse this week. Watch it and just protect your eyes, protect your vision, and everything will be all right. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to join me again next time when I will have something else to discuss with you for a very brief moment right here on TJ's Topics, okay? And I look forward to seeing you then. This is Taryn Jerome Harris reminding you that every round goes higher and higher. And don't let these people scare you to death, because they will. And while you running like a chicken with his head cut off, they'll be fattening up their pockets with your hard-earned money. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.